What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Sean C. And in today's show, I have a number of things to present to you. We have some video clips where we're going to be looking at women discussing the behavior of modern women and the problems that they have with it. Additionally, I'm going to take some comments from you guys. I'm going to go through your comments. I'm also going to do some shout outs. Along with, we'll go over some comments from previous video, and we're going to go through some memes. So make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done it. And then we're going to get right into it today. So I'm going to play an intro clip real quick, and we'll start from there. So, gents, we know that girls want to have fun, right? So, look, we've talked many times on this channel, right, about a great number of things in terms of behavior. And listen, I don't have any problem with anyone, male or female, going out and have fun. I think that what we try to delineate on this channel is that it seems to be with the women that we've discussed, the type of women that we've discussed on this channel, is that everything is about the fun, the lifestyle, the money. What can I get next, right? Nothing. Matter of fact, let me tell you this. I've said this to a number of people, and let me know if it's true from you. But what I haven't heard from a lot of modern women today is you never really hear them talk about love anymore, right? I don't hear that no more. I don't think I can really recall. Like, I've heard people talk about love, like when it comes to somebody they're already with. What I haven't seen is I haven't seen women talk about love or, duty to the family or none of these things that used to be something that you would look forward to, that you would find solace in when it comes to thinking about someone you was going to be with long term. And you just don't hear or see that anymore. So today we're going to talk about these behaviors. Again, I have a lot of video clips to go through, and they're decent length. So I'm not going to belay to get into those. We're going to get into those straight away. All right. So this is the part of the channel where we do our shout outs here to the gents that are in the chat. And I see a number of you guys up in here. Shout out to Anthony Realism. He said, like number 2. Sup, bro? Glad you're here. XL Pro says, checking in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, brother. Innocent said, yo, Sean, we started a GoFundMe for the female trucker that got locked up in Dubai. Oh, let's bring this brave, independent queen back home. She's innocent. Yeah, listen, let me get this banner off the screen first. Here, I've been thinking about this trucker. If you guys don't know, for anybody who's watching this pre-recorded, obviously, if you haven't been watching the news, you've been under a rock somewhere. There's a woman who went to Dubai, and I think she's a trucker, right? So she's got money. I think she does traveling and stuff like that. She got into a car accident in which her possessions were still in the car. So later, after the car accident, she went to go pick up her items, right? I mean, like her phone, like passport, like her stuff was in the car. And then what happened was she was having a problem trying to retrieve those items back. And the dude started yelling at her. So what did she do? She started yelling back at him. And it just so happens in Dubai, they don't play women. Actually, I don't think they play with the whole getting into these arguments and yelling either. But that's the thing y'all got to clarify for me in the comments, right? Was it because she was a woman and they don't play that there? Or was it something that they just don't tolerate there in Dubai? Let me know in the comments so I can make sure I have my information correct. But regardless, what happened is she wind up getting thrown in jail. And so they were, she's going to get banned from being back there, all that stuff. We got Brian Motul Holdy. Why weren't the items with her? I don't understand that either. Like, why wouldn't you take? I don't understand that either. That makes no sense. And then Preston says, Sup, Sean C. Green, Back Money City's homies. All right. We got Preston already dropping the dope rhymes in here already. XL Pro says, not even love songs. You know what? XL Pro, you are absolutely correct. That is something else that I had a discussion with. I was at the bar drinking and we were talking about this exact same thing. There are no love songs anymore. Don't get me wrong, there's people singing songs, but these ain't love songs, right? Like, you don't see the Boys to Men, you don't see the Brian McKnights, you don't see the Baby Faces, you don't have people, whatever your flavor of music is, right? I just don't hear love songs anymore. I hear slow songs, like, there's no subtlety to it. There's no wooing with it. It's just, take off your panties, girl. Oh, take off your panties. Take off your panties, girl. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing. It's just like, pop that thing on me, girl. You know what I mean? It just ain't no subtleties anymore. You don't get none of that. So you're right about that, XL Pro. Did I catch everybody? Oh, shout out to Anon Mai. He said, greetings to all. Thank you. Let me get down here. Anon says, most women do not have no training from their parents. We'll get there. We'll get there because we're going to talk about that in these video clips here. And then Ennis says, shout out to Ennis, what up? Think they can go to other people's country and do what they want. Shake my head. She'll be all right. Listen, when I lived in Mexico last year, one of the things before you decide to live in a country or spend any significant amount of time in a country is do your research on the country, right? You need to understand their laws. You need to understand their customs. And these are things that you need to look up and make sure that you understand before you go over to these countries, right? Like, there's some countries where, you can't chew gum or you can't spit on the ground. There's just laws that you need to be aware of before you leave out of the country. And your behavior, you need to act like you've been somewhere, okay? This ain't your country. And I think that as Americans, we sometimes think that people need to capitulate to us. And if you think about it, this is essentially the kind of mindset that we've been taught in modern Western culture, American exceptionalism, and not to say that America isn't have its greatness and it's a great country, but we're talking about when you go to other people's country, they have just as much pride in their country as you may in your own, right? So just something to keep in mind. Let me run through these comments and we got to get straight into these videos. If not, we're going to be here all day. Oh, got that. He said, I was just kidding. No, I know what you're talking about. Hell no, I ain't starting no GoFundMe. That's funny. Brian says she wanted to be Dubai's first female trucker. Listen, there was nothing wrong. She went over there. She was trying to make some business moves. You can't blame her for that. And I don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to go over there and do business and be over there, you don't need to understand those people's laws over there before you start, popping off at the mouth. All right, by the way, love the Cuban link, bro. Reminds me of the one that got ripped off my neck, a couple years ago. Yeah, man. I tend to, when I find jewelry that I like or I find something I like, then I rep that. I don't keep a whole bunch of jewelry. I do have a bunch of things, but I don't like to be too gaudy. I keep my one earring. I keep that. Keep a few bracelets. That's about it. You know what I mean? A couple chains, whatever. So let's get into it. Let me set up the first video of the night, the first real video.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I've been having some technical issues tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, listen. So let me set this up. So tonight we're going to talk about how much is the behavior of modern women the issue. Okay, we've talked about a lot of things on this channel, and we know that it's not to one single issue. And I think that everyone bringing up about this female trucker in Dubai who wound up getting locked up is a perfect example of us talking about how toxic behavior has ruined things for modern women. right? Has it ruined all things? We're going to go through and we're going to look at some of these women actually talk about how the behavior of the modern woman has affected things. Now, in this case, we're going to talk about how this woman is going to talk about how women are acting like men, how women are pushing themselves up, trying to be a part of a life that they shouldn't be a part of. They trying to be a part of a life like they dudes until they get found out, right? So that's what we're going to do on this first video. Okay. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. I just want to say real quick before we get into this video, thank you guys for all, any and all contributions. You guys know that everything that you guys have invested in this channel goes right back into this channel, including, having StreamYard, having all this stuff. I put it right back into the channel. I did not feel like doing Wednesday's live stream until I got real close to doing it, but it's because of you gents that I come on here every Wednesday and do this. Just want you guys to know that next week, I don't know if I'm going to have a live stream. I will have my best friend in town from who I grew up with. And so we're going to be pretty busy, but I will have videos out next week, even if I clip them from these live streams. Okay. Just want you guys to know that. All right. Let me get to the video. I am tripping on this today. There we go. All right.
Okay, y'all. So real quick, I was on Chicago Media Takeout last night, and I saw a video of a young lady.
Let me know if y'all can hear that in the comments. Put a 1 down in the comment if y'all hear that. Okay. She's about to tell this story. I don't want y'all to miss it.
I don't know her name. So I guess she's a rapper from Chicago, just got signed. And Cardi B was here recently doing a feature and a video with this young lady, right? I'm reading through the comments, but I go listen to the song, and I get that as Black women, for a very long time, we've been put in positions where we've had to, kind of be masculine in some ways, not all, because of survival, right? Simply because of survival. I get that. I'm one of those. I'm the oldest child, oldest grandchild. I'm in positions often where it's like I have to take on more than I necessarily would want to.
Let me stop that right there. I want to acknowledge something that she said, right? That a lot of these households nowadays have a lot of single mothers, right? Especially ones that are aren't as economically sound, if you will. Plus, we have divorce up, so you have a lot of households that growing up with having kids growing up with single mothers, and so we're not even just talking about that. We're talking moms, aunties, grandmas, and stuff like that, where the women in the house aren't learning to be wives, right? They aren't being taught, or none of them know how to actually deal with real men, right? And so because of this lady acknowledged how she may not, that she may have to take on more than she normally would like to, which leads her to being put in a masculine position. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind, which I know you guys know that, but I want you guys to keep that in mind as she starts talking about some of these scenarios that we see are prevalent throughout society right now, okay? Including her example. Let's get back to it.
I get that part. But that has never taken away from me being a lady. You know what I mean? Okay, I ain't never wanted to be hard. Why the fuck y'all want to be so tough? Why y'all? So here's the thing. I'm saying this, well, I'm asking because I get it's being pushed in the music, it's being pushed on television. It's really being pushed through other Black women that this is the mindset you need to have, and you need to be a bad bitch, you need to be a bad this, bad that. Like, you know what I mean? I saw a video where these girls from Chicago, like that Moscow 2 song, I hate that shit. I tell my daughter, turn that shit off, and I'm not playing. Why do y'all want to be in videos throwing up gang signs and pointing guns at the camera and shit like that? When if you look at how shit be moving sometimes in the streets of Chicago, these girls getting smoked.
All right. Let's stop that right there and talk about it for 1 second, okay? She asked a really good question. Why do you have modern women out there that's actually glorifying this lifestyle? Right? You guys may have seen some of the videos out there on social media where they will ask a woman, like some dude will go up to them. I've done videos where I've talked about the behaviors of modern women to avoid, and dudes will go up to them on the street and they will ask them questions like, hey, who would you rather be with? Would you rather be with a regular 9-to-5 guy, or would you want to be with a thug who make his money a certain way? And then 9 times out of 10, these women are choosing to be with, they want that fast money. They want to be with thugs. They want to be a part of their life. And what I'm starting to notice is a pattern of women really glorifying excitement. And it should make sense to us because everything in this life is entertainment. Everything is quick. Everything is fast. Our attention spans aren't the same. Even my generation, right? Generation X, especially Generation X that's closer to the elder millennials, right? Where, we had our foot in both camps, where, we had our foot in the old school camp, but we also, as young adults, started learning more about computers and stuff. Okay. Even our generation is starting to basically not be able to focus and concentrate the way we used to. Right. So listen, we can understand being caught up in this new age society where everything is technical, everything is about computers, everything is fast, everything is now. But at the same time, you still have to have the sense to know, why would I choose a lifestyle that, if you do watch movies and TV, always ends up bad? It always ends, all those gangster movies end the same way. You don't have a high mortality rate if you decide to stay in that life. And women are choosing to stay in this life. Women are choosing the type of dudes that are in this life. Why? Why are they doing it? So Anon says, since the 80s, girls was like that. Look, we saw things changing, right? We saw, right? Okay, Anon talks about the 80s. You started seeing the Madonnas and stuff talking about being a material girl, and you had Cyndi Lauper talking about girls just want to have fun, right? All of the stuff was starting to already happen. We just didn't know it. And then with the mid to late 80s, you got the Oprahs come on the scene. You got the Sally Jesse Raphaels. Now you have this thing that a lot, like TV was already really prevalent back in the day. And now you have this machine where you have these talk shows, and you have these magazines, Cosmopolitan, that is changing the image of women. And we wonder why the behaviors are the way they are today. Even, I believe, one of the women that was a part of Cosmopolitan as it was on the come up talks about how what they pushed in the 80s in those magazines changed the face of what we see today, actually had an impact on the way women operate today. And they did it for profits. And at the end of the day, what did it do? It pushed women and men away from each other. And we didn't even see it happening. We got the wool polarized. We had the okie doke. As Malcolm X said, or at least the way Denzel Washington portrayed it, he said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Right? When he talked about it, he was just like, he said, I dare say you've been led astray. You've been run amok. You've been hoodwinked. Right? I'm going to get to y'all comments in a minute. We're going to get back to this. But she brings up a good point. Why do these young ladies glorify this lifestyle? Why do young men glorify basketball players and rappers? I'll be honest. Back in the day, I was in a singing group and everybody was always trying to freestyle. We all glorified these things. I thought I was going to play sports back in the day. We all fell for the okie doke, men and women. But why do you have women operating in masculinity, trying to be hard like these dudes? and then they getting themselves smoked in these streets, as this woman just said. We'll get right back to it in a little bit. I can't wait to see y'all comments on this one.
Do you hear me? I mean, walking them down. They ain't giving no passes. But y'all steady want to play in this shit. Like, y'all be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And then when you read the stories later on, it be like, you know, mother of 2, mother of 3, shot down in. But look at the shit that y'all doing. Like, I don't think we, and I understand a lot of these females, like, we can sit here and make it seem like they have no guidance and no influence and no, a lot of times that be bullshit. It be straight cap. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers be coming from 2-parent homes with a mom and daddy that love them or a grandmama that love him, somebody, but they gravitate to the shit that they feel is going to be accepted in the streets. Clout is a hell of a drug. I'm so serious. Clout is a hell of a drug. And so
I wanted to stop it there, but I had it on. I keep messing up today. I don't know what's going on. You heard what she just said? Right there. Clout is a hell of a drug, right? Clout is a hell of a drug. And now we are seeing all these women, especially on the TikToks and stuff. I can't go through TikTok anymore. I don't even follow people on TikTok. I just go through and then I find stuff. And even though I don't follow stuff, I would say it takes me less than 5 to sometimes less than a minute, 5 to 10 minutes. And you have just regular girls on there, dressed scantily cladded, trying to do this for clout. Everybody's trying to get clout. And listen, don't get me wrong. I understand the social media beast. I'm not really good with my other social medias, but even when it comes to doing YouTube, it's tough sometimes. But I'm not going to sit here and, you know, go against my values or go against my principles to necessarily just get clout. I don't care about the clout. I do care about people watching and being entertained, but also getting good information. Man. Everybody want to be social media famous because it is the quickest way for regular people to be just like their favorite people. If you're a fan of Drake or you're a fan of Cardi B or you're a fan of Megan Thee Stallion, you're a fan of all these people, right? You may not make it to Hollywood. You may not be a great singer. The best way to do it in today's society is on social media. And that's what people are trying to do. They want that notoriety just like their favorite people do or their social media influencers. And they're willing to go to such extents to make it happen. What are we doing? You know, Anon said it right there in one of the comments right there. If I'm saying, I'm going to get through y'all comments. Social media, smartphone dominated, upgraded the system. Yeah. Social engineering. Right? So it's all good. Easy come, easy go. Absolutely. Right? Person says, I'm from the Chi-Town, and even I'm say it's gotten bad. Everybody talks about how bad Chi-Town is, how bad the ATL is, you know, all these different places where, you know, they used, like, everybody thought Atlanta is on the business come up, yes. But when you start talking about the ability to be able to date and stuff like that, it's gotten terrible. All right? Person said, I missed most of the conversation. Damn it, my bad. You all good? We just started. Stupidity is one hell of a drug. Absolutely is. I know there's a long video. I'm not going to probably go through the whole thing, but I want her to get to her main point. So bear with me here.
Many of these young ladies just be wanting so badly to be one of the guys. Are you fucking kidding me? I was riding through. I stay out west. I'm riding in a particular area, and it's a joint. It's chicks sitting on crates outside with these dudes, not even thinking, like, and I don't know if they be thinking or not, but a lot of these females, like, y'all know y'all basically like sitting ducks. Y'all fucking like a target. Sit next to these dudes. Y'all, here's my thing. Now, y'all know I've been on these streets.
Now she gonna tell a story. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I might put this in another separate video next week. Like I said, I have my friend in town, so I'm gonna have to clip videos and make them. But what I might do is take the story portion of what she's talking about and make it its own video. So please support that video next week when it drops, okay? because I really will need the help next week in order to make this happen. All right, let me put myself back up on the screen. But I was trying, look, that first video, and you didn't even hear the story. Again, next week, I'll drop the story portion of what she's talking about. So please support that, okay? But in the story portion, or what she was about to get to, is that a lot of these women are hanging out with these dudes that are in the streets and for the streets, the same ones that Dr. Brother Umar says that we are supposed to, if you're a responsible man, it's up to you to turn around some of these dudes in the street. How you going to do that? How you going to do that? The way I try to do my contribution is through this channel here and talk about the things that I've been through and what I've been through. That's the best way I can help, right? When I was a kid, I'm going to just tell you a quick story time. I was a kid. I was about 10 years old. I stayed in this neighborhood, wasn't the best neighborhood, and then I moved away. And then in the 2 years I was gone, it got really bad. And I was wearing some British Knights at the time. I don't know if y'all remember that tennis shoe, British Knights, right? I had the black and white marble ones. I went back to my old neighborhood just to say hi to some people. And I got jumped in that neighborhood. They tried to take my shoes, but I was more scared to go home without them shoes than my bike or whatever, right? I mean, I fought my way back out of there. They weren't getting my shoes. You know what I'm saying? But some dudes helped me out, and I wound up getting all that stuff back. But when them dudes came to my neighborhood like a year or so later, and I had my partners, oh man, I ain't go there. Anyway, it was bad. But that's the kind of stuff that happens in the hood, right? You go to somebody else's hood and they don't know you, they're going to take you out. So now you have women who's sitting on these stoops, sitting on the crate like she talking about, trying to live this lifestyle, and dudes ain't about that. When they pull out them things, okay, they don't care who they're. Moms, grandmas, little kids, they don't care. And this is the lifestyle that young women will glorify. But if you are a man that's on your purpose, if you are a man that's working hard, if you are a man going after yours, trying to be the best version of yourself so you can live the best life and give your family the best life, then you're a lame. You're boring. They don't want to deal with you. Or if they do deal with you, they wait until they're ready to settle down, and then they're not built for that lifestyle, so they end up leaving again anyway. So men are just completely checked out of this process, and men don't want to deal with masculine-ass women. Take that to the bank, all right? Let's get back to these comments. Brian says, Dr. Umar can rehabilitate them in his school. What school? XL Pro, British Nice, throwback classic. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. The marble ones, bro. They tried to gank the things off my feet, bro. But like I said, I'm more scared if I came home without them shoes than you know what I mean, than getting beat up. I didn't care. You know what I mean? So, which was probably stupid at the time because that's how you lose your life, right? But I fought back. I was like, I ain't going home like that. My mama killed me, right? They'll kill me too, but my mama killed me. But yeah, man. So, keep that in mind. Keep what she said in mind, okay? So that's one of the behaviors. One of the behaviors that I believe is toxic to the relationships dynamics between men and women today is women being masculine. And women say they have to be masculine. And you can judge the woman on the screen for yourself. That ain't what I'm here to do. I respect her story. And what she said in that story was, even though she has to be masculine, she likes to operate being feminine. She ain't trying to be hard on the streets, even though you could tell she got a little street in her. You know what I mean? You can still tell she got a little street in her. All right? But she makes great points, and just, keep that in mind. We're going to go to the next story. And this next one, this woman is going to talk about how women can be just as toxic as men sometimes, okay? You hear the term toxic masculinity all the time. And since I've had this channel for over 3 years now, I have fought against that term being used, because any term that you use, there's an antithesis to that term. So if there's toxic masculinity, you sure in the hell better believe there's toxic femininity. However, you don't hear toxic femininity used, right? You don't hear, you hear misogyny used, but you don't hear about misandry. You don't hear terms being used in terms of when it's toxic, when females use it. You always hear it when it tears down a man. And that I cannot allow. That is why I do not believe in these terms. These terms are just used to be able to gaslight us into thinking that masculinity in and of itself is a bad thing. This woman is going to talk about it here in this next clip. Check it out.
I have realized why women think they are better than men, because we have a problem with accountability. Most women can't admit their faults or their flaws about anything when it comes to a relationship.
I'm going to stop her right there real quick since she had a pause. Think about that video I just put out. Think about the last video I put out with the woman who had been stealing money, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars out of her husband's bank account. When he went to confront her about it, she flipped it back on him. Everything in that video was her flipping it on him, talking about, I'm doing this for us, when she was doing that for herself. She would say, I'm doing this for our family, but then she would go back to say, well, I'm a woman. What do you expect? If you decide to leave me, I'm assed out, right? So when he confronted her about that she didn't talk to him, and we're going to talk about that in the comments of the day section, but she kept flipping it using sign language back on him. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. These are all things and all tactics being used. So this woman is absolutely correct. We are not seeing modern women take accountability for their actions, for what's going on, for the fact that, oh, all these dudes are treating me bad, but you're only talking to a certain type of dude. You call regular guys lame, you want to talk to hood dudes, and you wonder why you can't get a high-value man, right? You mad because you keep getting hood dudes who you like. You mad when they do stuff to you. You mad when they treat you bad, but you really pissed that you're not good enough for a high-value man. And you think you're too good for regular dudes. It's part of the problem. It's part of the toxicity. Let's get back to it.
And because we don't know how to do that, we think we are just these perfect patties, when no, we can be just as toxic as these men. And quite frankly, a lot of y'all are narcissistic, controlling, and abusive, verbally and physically.
Let's talk. Wait, let's clip that. Let's clip that real quick. We know that modern women can be verbally abusive. Go back to that last video I did the other day, right? A day ago, I guess. And that woman, what did she say to him? He confronted her about the money, and what did she do? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? If I'm a dude and I'm confronting another dude and we get into a heated argument, we do that as men sometimes. It can get heated, right? It can get contentious. And we know what that means. That means there's always a threat of violence. But if you a dude and you in that heat of the argument tell another man what you gonna do about it, better be lucky you don't catch them hands. And nowadays you got to worry about if you're gonna catch a strap or something, okay? But at least back in the day, it was them hands. What I'm gonna do about it? Are you serious, son? And this is the way women talk to men nowadays. But the thing that I want to highlight, based on what she just said, was women also are physically abusive. And we see more times than not that it's the men that end up going to jail for the abuse that the woman might perpetrate. Now, this is not to say that there aren't men out there who put their hands on women. or abuse their women. And if you are one of those dudes or you know somebody like that, that shit needs to stop, right? That shit needs to stop. But on the flip side, if you are a woman that you're going to raise your hand to a man, right? Knowing that the average man is stronger than the average woman, but you're going to buck up on him like he a man, right? I'm not saying it's right for a man to put his hands on a woman, but I'm saying just like we expect the threat of violence, women thinking that they can talk recklessly, put their hands on men, do things that are reckless toward men, and think that a few of these dudes ain't gonna actually snap, crackle, pop when the time happen. That's just not smart. Actually, it's plain effing stupid. Okay, I almost cursed. Okay, it's stupid. It's stupid too. It's just as stupid for a man to say that to another man. What you gonna do about it? Huh? What you gonna do about it? And it's these type of things that we try to highlight. And you don't have other women talking about it, which I wanted this video to be in here because you don't hear women talk about the abuse that women perpetrate on men. Women will make up abuse stories on men in child support custody because their lawyer tell them to. These are the things, ladies, that we have a problem with as men. You want to talk about equality? You want to talk about fairness? Women do this because they know that they're going to be believed. They know that the system works in their favor. And this is why men are choosing to up and walk away and opt out of these different things. I'm going to get to y'all comments. Let's finish this up real quick. I'm going to finish it up.
Then you want to blame the fact that we're emotional? No, sis. No, sis. You got to get those emotions in check because you're a grown-ass woman. You're an adult.
Right.
And you should be able to control your behavior. Those who can't are children.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're a grown woman and you don't know how to control your emotions, it's giving child.
You know, that's the end of the video. All right. So when we as men don't control our emotions, right? When we do not take the time to use our words, then you get therapists that come on TikTok and say, well, you guys got to get in touch with your feelings and you know, you guys are don't express yourselves emotionally and you guys aren't doing this and you guys aren't doing that. We get that type of talk when, you know, we are emotional about things, but you won't have some women talk to their girlfriends about it. You won't have some women check their own girls because they're scared. They're scared to check their girls, or they're scared to say, girl, you wrong for that, because they don't want to be ousted, right? They don't want to be on the outside looking into their little friend groups. Whereas men, we know as men, at some point, we got to walk this life alone. And our next video clip is going to be about a group of women who are out on the girl trip, fronting and flossing. But before we get to that, I'm going to get to your comments because this is what we do here on this channel. Can't do this without you guys. Let me get that banner back up on the screen because I like to get the banner up on the screen before I take y'all comments. Where we at? I already read that. Mama send you back out there to get them shoes. Yeah, that's 100% right there. If my shoes would have got taken, my mom would have had me go back to the neighborhood, or she'd come with me, right? Preston says, trust me, dude, I know about them Chicago streets, especially when it comes to gang fights. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, whenever you're from these major cities, New Orleans, Chicago, you know, parts of LA, you know, there's just so many places around the country where, like, you got to be careful how you talk. Atlanta, you can't be reckless, man. You know, these dudes ain't playing. Them kids really got those single mothers seeing the light and turning into pick-me women. Yeah, some women are becoming pick-me's, but is it a bad thing for some of these women to be speak out for it? People don't want to hear about their own ignorance unless they hear it from somebody that looks like them or that they can respect, right? It's just the way it is. Brian says they want to have their cake and eat it too, but don't want to deal with cavities. Ooh, nice one, Brian. Nice metaphor there. I like that. You're right. A lot of them got some cavities. I'm talking about like just gangly teeth. You know what I'm saying? Still Saint says, like St. Kevin says, water seeks its own level. He did say that. That is true. 8, water seeks its own level. You're going to see that in the next video clip. Stay tuned for that. Okay? Brian says they buck up to men. Yeah, they do. And then they wonder why they get knocked down sometimes by these dudes. Like that woman said, they will hang out on the stoop with these dudes trying to hang out and be hard with them. But guess what? When them bullets fly, them bullets don't have no name on it. They catch all of them, okay? That is exactly why you're destined to be alone. That is exactly why some of them will be alone. No, brother. If a woman attacks a man, she needs to be considered a mutual combatant and lose her specialized status as a woman. Look, in some instances, I'll have to agree. Does a man not have a right to defend himself? Does a man not have a right to defend himself? When a man comes in this world, he comes in by himself, and when he dies, he leaves by himself. This is not a justification for a man to attack a woman. This is to say that if a man is expected to hold himself back from putting his hands on women because it's wrong, then a woman knowing that the man that she's with is potentially or possibly stronger than her in most cases, does not she have the same responsibility to keep control of herself and not put her hand on that man? See what I'm saying? It can't be one or the other. Well, but she's weaker. Okay, she's weaker in that case, but why do y'all say, oh, she's strong and independent, she don't need no man? Okay, you don't need no man, then protect yourself. See what I'm saying? Modern women's arguments are just whimsical at best, if not just smoke and mirrors for just being able to pass their own their own agenda or look out for themselves. It's stupid. So, as one person said, equal rights deserve equal lefts. Some people believe that. They don't understand the rules of chivalry because they don't operate within the rules of chivalry. See, we as men have to understand the rules of chivalry, because if we don't, and I come to you and I say something stupid like, what you gonna do about it? You already know what that means. I literally, when I say that statement to another man, I've taken off the glove and I've literally slapped his pride and ego across the face a couple times. So that man is going to feel like he has to do something, or he's going to control himself. But then there's a potential of him looking like a little bitch. Excuse my French, but that's the way it is. Okay? But we know as men that our actions always have the threat of violence behind them. And we have to be careful in our thinking and how we operate so we can avoid that. Anon says girls want to be so powerful because they knew men cannot hit a woman. They will go directly to jail. Yeah, absolutely. They know that because the system does that, right? Equal rights, equal fights. All right. Now, I told y'all I got this video clip. We're talking about how women will, want to be a part of the group, whatever. We've talked about how the trucker going overseas, we talk about behaviors. Shout out to brother Yona Yesh, right? He got a channel, the Brazil Yesh, right? Shout out to that brother. He always does good content about traveling and why brothers should travel. This was taking a clip from what he had. I love how he puts his .com across every video, but it's all good. I just want to shout that brother out because he is a good brother, and I've had a chance to be a part of his lives and check out his videos. I support that brother 100%. All right, here we go. Check this out. You guys may have seen this video on YouTube already.
You need to make at least 150,000.
Okay, you make 150,000.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. What about you?
Around the same amount.
100. You make 100.
She don't make that.
Oh,
I make about 70.
We gonna go back
about 70, but he got to make more than me.
Okay.
Wait. First of all, that's not even the same, okay? Oh, I make about the same amount. Well, how much you make? I make 70. That's like, that's less than half. It's like 40% of that. You know what I mean? Anyway, see, she got put on the spot and she was damn near about to lie about it. You see that? Anyway, let's go.
What about you?
I'm with that. Over 150.
And you make 150?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But he need to make more than it.
Okay, so why do you feel a man needs to make more money than you?
Because he's the provider.
And what are you?
Not no roommates. Sprinkle.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Did she just pull out the whole sprinkle on this thing? Oh my God. These women with this damn sprinkle. They be killing me with that, man. That sprinkle is going to have a lot of these women single, man. Check this out, man. So I wanted you to see this beginning part where now they talk about their money. The two girls on the right side there obviously don't make that much, but the dude need to be making what they friend make, okay? Because they see their friend, if she really does make $150,000 a year, and she probably sponsored that trip, right? If she really do make it and they see the way she live, they want to live like that. So they want a dude to come in probably and be able to provide what they friend have, right? It's always keeping up with the friends. It's always keeping up with that friend group. The same thing I talked about before this video started. What do you provide? These women get asked this same question and they fail it every single time. How are we years into talking about what do you bring to the table? Even though, again, I've stated on this channel, as men, you should never ask that question directly. But you're going to ask questions to ascertain what she brings to the table without asking. And these women are now not even talking about, well, I can provide him the peace. And when my man comes home, I'm going to make sure that women don't even know how to answer this question still. Years have passed. I've had this channel for 3 years and women still cannot answer that question. But you know what they can answer? Sprinkle, baby. Sprinkle. They know that. But they don't know how to take care of a man. Are you serious? Let's finish this real quick so I can get to y'all comments.
So let me ask you a question. I don't know nothing about that. So let me ask you a question. If your man make more than you, do you think the bill should be 50-50?
I'm not doing 50-50.
What you doing?
Nothing.
Did you hear that? Your man makes $150 a year. What are you doing? Nothing. Because they feel like they're entitled to this stuff. You cannot make this shit up. They feel like they are entitled for whatever a man makes, that he is supposed to just go off and do it. Like they're owed it. Like what in the God's gray universe has made modern women think that they just off and deserve anything? Anything. Because the truth is, life don't owe anybody shit. If you want something, you got to go out and get it. Or you have to provide the value to be able to earn it. And they don't want to earn it no more. So this is another behavior that is a really toxic trait that modern women are displaying, that men, anybody, just owe them something. They're just owed this. How can any man talk to a woman nowadays with this type of mentality? If you are a woman watching this and you got friends like this, or maybe you yourself may be like this, that you feel like people owe you something, life don't owe you crap. Life don't owe you crap, and it's going to give you the middle finger at the same time. How can we repair relationships today with this type of mentality? And you see the friends right there in there. What are they doing? They don't go like, girl, you wrong for that. Let's finish listening. Let's see if her friends are going to correct her. Let's see.
You can handle it.
Let me back that up real quick. I'm going to back it up real quick.
And what are you?
Not no roommates. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Oh
So
God.
let me ask you a question. I don't know nothing about that. So let me ask you a question. If your man make more than you, do you think the bill should be 50-50?
I'm not doing 50.
What you doing?
Nothing. He can handle it.
$150,000 ain't a lot of money.
It's not, but he can handle it.
Okay, what you doing in your relationship?
I'm gonna do 40.
What you doing?
Nothing.
Okay, so which one of y'all married? Thanks.
Boom.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, I would let it play, but I'm not gonna shout out to Yesh for that one, for finding that video. Let me pull myself up. That is crazy, man. I'm gonna take some of y'all comments real quick on this. Sorry, I'm trying to. Again, the one girl in the middle, she like, I'm gonna do 40. I used to didn't have a problem with a woman, like with them women that actually would say, I'm gonna try to do something more. And 40 is higher than what I hear most women say. But there didn't used to be a limit on that. If a woman, what did I tell you earlier? Do y'all hear women talk about love anymore? I don't. If you just got into the night's live stream, I talked about this earlier. You don't hear about women saying and using the word love anymore. It's non-existent. Okay? You just don't hear that. A woman that truly loves and respects her man, she's going to be like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to take care of my family. Period. Because that's what we as men say. Have y'all ever seen the video on YouTube where they go out and they do interviews and they ask women out on the street? They say, if it was, say you were out and, there was a potential chance of you or your man losing his life, who is the one should put their life on the line? Every woman answered, oh, my husband, my dude, my husband, right? Or my dude. Every woman answered that a man should put his life on the line for the women. And then when they flipped it and they asked all the men the same question by themselves, every dude said, my woman, my wife, my mom, my this, my that, my no. Okay? Every dude answered they were going to put their life on the line for their woman. But I want you guys to think about something. This ought to show you how ungrateful modern women are. That you respect men so little that most men would put their life, sacrifice their life for you, and you can't even get them a sandwich. You complain about that. You have a stipulation on money when you yourself don't make that money. This man is willing to put his most valuable resource on the line, which is his time, which is his health. Health and time are the two most valuable resources. And if you have a man willing to put those things on the line for you, you telling me he can't get a hot cooked meal? He can't get your respect? He can't get love and affection and attention? He can't get peace from you? And he's willing to die for you and you know he is? That means that women today, modern women, do not value the lives of men. They do not value men. That's what it tells me. Let me know down in the comments what it tells you. All right? Let's get to these comments before we get to the next video. Ooh, I missed a lot. Of course, everyone has the right to defend themselves, the right to bear arms. That's right. And fists. Brazil, yes. Good channel. Yeah. Good brother over there. Dude, you just answered your own question. Hell yeah. We have a right to defend ourselves. Not sprinkle. Hey, let me get back to this. The reason why I might have answered the question, whatever, but people might feel differently about that. And that's okay. We can have these conversations on the channel. I believe that women should keep their hands to themselves, and I believe men should keep their hands to themselves. We're adults. But women want to put their hands on you like they little kids, and then they wonder why men snap on that. That to me, it just don't make no sense. All right? Not sprinkle, sprinkle, text green, game over. Anon says, those girls have any education? I don't know, man. Preston says, these people always want to be a part of something, trying to be a man until they find out that it's hard to actually walk in that man's shoes. Those women were out in Mexico, I believe, too, right? They're doing their girl strip, and they were getting asked these questions. Imagine, if you will, if those same girls, right, potentially were over in Dubai. Would they yell at people? You don't know. Okay? Lead her into the trap. One baby mama told me, you get to have a family. Wait, are you serious? So you get the privilege. The thing that she provides is you get the privilege of taking care of a family? Do they not know? Listen, men might want that love and affection, and us men might want that attention. And it might be nice to have a femininity around us at times. But make no mistake about it, okay? I can sit here, have my little sip, which is only water, you guys. Water with some flavored meal or something in it. I could sit down and watch TV. I can play video games. I can go play golf right now. After I get done with this live stream, I'm wearing this because I'm going to the gym. Like, I have no restrictions on me. And guys are starting to, look, women are starting to be like, oh, I ain't got no restrictions on me, no dude. Dudes are starting to figure it out too. You know? Some dudes are figuring out too, like, why would I give this up? Why would I give this up for a woman who doesn't respect me? I wouldn't. Right? No dude wants to do that. No sane dude wants to do that. So that's crazy. Sprinkle nothing. These 304s can't cook and don't clean. Right, which is crazy. Listen, if you guys have watched this channel, I've said this many times before. The guys that I know, the ones that are my brothers, they know how to cook and they know how to clean. They know how to take care of themselves. These are brothers that can cook. I know more men in my life that can cook than I ever see out on these streets from women. I hear more women talk about, I don't do too much cooking. Or when you hear what they're cooking, like, that's not really cooking, baby. That's microwaving. That's not cooking. That's heating up some shit. That ain't cooking. Okay? You ain't seasoned that. You ain't took the time. You ain't let that simmer, or you didn't let that marinate. Okay? Marinate. You didn't let it do none of that stuff. You didn't let that meat cook for whatever, or low and slow. You don't know nothing about all this stuff that I'm talking about. It's gonna be hard to keep a man happy. You can't cook for him. Those 304s need to focus on losing 40 or 50% of their body fat. Oh my God, that's crazy. It's still saying crazy. All she brings to the table is Uber Eats hat. Oh my God. Sprinkle on them wrinkles and stale Pringles. Uh-oh. Preston dropping the rhymes on them. Ren, thank you for being here, brother. Ren says they seem to forget there's always someone else who's more beautiful than them. They are replaceable. Modern women today are quick to say that men are replaceable. Men are replaceable to modern women who are younger and who have options, okay? Women, there's always some dude that will lay down with you, okay? But that doesn't mean that you can find a man who's willing to commit to you, right? I talk about the inverse curve, right? Women, or if you want to look at it from this side of the screen, women have their peak sexual market value when they're younger to men. Men find women most attractive when they're younger. It's not to say there aren't no beautiful older women. That's not the truth. I know some older women who I think are gorgeous. But peak value for most men, average men, even men who are in relationships answer these questions, that they believe that the peak beauty value of a woman is somewhere in her early 20s, right? That's where the peak value is. But for men, for us, it takes years later. You're talking in 30, like late, mid 30s, all the way up until 50s, 60s in some cases. George Clooney and them almost 60, if not 60, and they still get the sexiest man alive awards. It's because that's when a man is at his peak value. He has to work to his value. He has to earn his value. And I think some of these women get mad. That's why you have all this anti-aging cream. And you have all this, I got to go get this done. And I got to go get this lifted. And I got to get this injected. And I got to do all these things to make myself feel better because father time is catching up. And women say it's not fair that a man can have a value later in life. But they never say it's unfair when they diss that man when he's younger, when he's trying to be on the come up. What works for me doesn't work for thee. And that's just the way it is. Right? Where we at? Yep, I read that. Yep. So that's what we're talking about. And last comment. That's because these people are the reason love is dead and done with, period. They're the ones who killed love. Yeah. Like, it's to the point that, like, men don't even have to really romance women no more. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as chivalry. It's even unappreciated. Some of these women don't even appreciate when you open a door for them, which shocks me because when I open a door for some women, they're like, wow. They're shocked because men just don't do it for them anymore. I can't turn that shit off because I'm from New Orleans. I grew up with Southern value. You know what values that the women in my life taught me, that the men in my life taught me. Okay. Let me bring up this next clip. This is an interesting conversation, and it has to deal with exactly what we were just talking about, right? Everything that you guys talked about in the comments and the things that I talked about too. But this woman is about to tell modern women today about how. Let me back it up. You have some women who talk about how disrespected they are because men are pigs and men are beasts and they're disrespected and they get looked down upon. This woman here is going to bring up a very strong point about whose fault it actually is for certain women getting disrespected or for them being looked down upon. She's about to bring it up in this next clip.
So this probably gonna get me unfollowed, but here it is anyway. I don't want to hear nothing else about black women being the most disrespected person in America. I don't want to hear it no more. Because until we ready to address the real tea, which is we disrespect ourselves on a level that's astronomically higher than any other race attempting to disrespect us.
Do you see these women on the stage here losing their mind? I'm glad the clip's small, and I'm glad I don't even monetize the live streams anymore because it's to the point now where I know it's gonna get flagged. But if you look down on the bottom part of your screen, I mean, these women are losing their damn mind. I'm gonna back it up real quick, just so y'all can see, just in case you didn't see that little bottom caption on the screen. It's crazy. These women losing their mind on stage.
Respect ourselves on a level that's astronomically higher than any other race attempting to disrespect us. We follow anybody with a pink, purple, blue front lace wig on. Our morals and mindset is not the same as our grandparents or our grandmothers, and we done abandoned anything and everything to do with decorum and gentleness and femininity. Like, all of that is just a thing of the past, but then we wonder why we so disrespected. It's a whole fool. The truth is, you get what you give, and before anybody can learn to respect you, you must lay the blueprint of how you want to be respected. Ain't nobody taking us seriously when all we promote is turning our tails up in the sky and twerking and shaking it like a skunk. We need to get back to what matters, but the truth is we play too much. We want to be entertained all the time, and half of us can't entertain a viable conversation of substance for longer than 20 minutes because our attention span is so low. I already know they're gonna say this video is hating, and I'm a hater, but guess what? I'm hating on the fact that the most beautifully created women on the face of this earth have now been brought low and made to be cartoon characters. Just something for everybody to laugh at. But guess what? They're not laughing with us, they're laughing at us. And I'm definitely hating on that.
Man, let me real quick. If you can't respect what that woman said, then you know, you can be like, oh, she being a pick me or whatever, right? Like, if you hate on what that woman said, the first point I want to make on what she said is about respect. Why aren't, in this case, she was talking about black women being respected. And I always counter when it comes to the respect thing is that respect is earned, not given. And unfortunately, with modern women, you have two things going on. They want respect without earning it. And then the people who should be earning their respect in their eyes, they don't respect. Okay? What I mean is that some of them bring nothing to the table, and then they want you to respect them. You're supposed to just do for them everything we just talked about in the last clips. Okay? And then on the flip side, let's say you were a man, you out there doing all the things you're supposed to do for yourself. You taking care of yourself emotionally, physically. You're out there grinding. You're working on your career. You're working on living your best life. And those are the type of men that they say are lame, they're goofy, they're boring. So the men that they should be respecting, they don't. The things that they say men's supposed to be doing, they don't respect it. But yet and still, they disrespect themselves enough to go for the guys who do none of those things, who are the antithesis of what they said they want. See, they don't want those things until they're ready to settle down. They don't respect it. They just want it because it's just to fuel them continuing on this lifestyle. So if you are a lady listening, guys check out because of this. They see it as a lose-lose situation now. Why would I put myself on the line for any woman with this type of thinking and mentality? And the difference is that men can't tell the difference between, good women and bad women anymore because they even hang together. I did a video on this channel where you had a woman says, she was like, I was raised in a 2-parent household and I was raised to be a good woman and this, that, and the third, but I love hanging with 304s. That's what she said. Oh, 304s are my best. I love going out with them ratchet, blah, blah, blah. See, she grew up one way, but yet she decided to keep her company around women that she shouldn't even be like, and she think that's okay. So if she don't respect herself enough to pull back from that, then why would a man even consider her? Why would a man want to put a ring on any woman's finger who thinks like that? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. He'd be a fool. Where am I at? Of course, these people are replaceable. They just think that they aren't like they're better, than the people around them. Yeah. Brian says fire. Yeah, it was a fire video. I totally agree with her. Yeah, seriously. And that goes for men too. We got to respect. We talk about respect, that we have to have respect for ourselves. That we know when we come to the presence of another man, we have to have some level of respect or decorum. We know that because it can end in violence. And these women don't see consequences until it's too late. And that's why you're starting to see, I'm not justifying why it's happening to them that somebody's doing this, but if you're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to get taken out and you didn't have to, you could have avoided that, then you don't respect yourself, right? Brian says, where do they not twerk? You saw those ABWs twerking at the Slave Coast in Ghana. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's right. I did see that. Yeah, which was crazy, bro. How do you go and visit where your ancestors were taken from and you were twerking there? How disrespectful was that, man? Crazy. That woman must have female children, well spoken. Yeah. Just like you earn money, but they'll never, do it because they think they deserve it. Yeah, absolutely. Just like that video that I put out this week, where when the dude was saying, hey, $22,000 is a lot of money. Some people don't even see that in a year. And she was just like, that ain't a lot of money. Them people need to get a job. It's like, if you don't think $22,000 is still, like, I'm not saying it's going to last you the rest of your life, but if you had $22,000 in a divorce settlement, you're going to have to get a job at some point. It don't seem like she was keen on that. Seemed like that woman in that last video that stole $22,000 from her husband's account, she was looking to leave. And she's going to be looking to leave, talking about take care of herself. Come on, man. Try to fool us. I have the last video of the night. We got the last video here, and then we're going to go into the other parts of this channel. We're at 1 hour and 10, so we're doing really good on time tonight. Really good on time. All right. What do I talk about on this channel all the time, man? What do I talk about? What do I talk about that we as men would like from our woman? Aside from respect, what is the other thing I talk about? Peace. Most men are just looking for peace. We as men have to go out into a world and battle every day. And we know how hard it is because no one gives a damn about what happens to men. A man has to be on his grind. If not, no one is going to feel sorry for him. Nobody's going to come rescue him. Nobody's going to pluck him off the fries at McDonald's and make him a king. It'll happen for women, though. But we as men, when we come home, we want peace. And in the next clip that I'm going to show you guys, this woman is going to talk about exactly that. Check it out.
Okay, I'm going to say this. It's clear that us women aren't listening. Like, we're just dropping the ball time and time again. And it's starting to piss me off.
Me too.
Time and time again, we hear men scream that they want peace.
Peace.
Over and over and over again.
I say it all the time on this channel. All the time on this channel, I talk about peace. If you look at Brother Lucis, I know he haven't been able to make it to these podcasts, but if you look at the comments from Brother Lucis in the comments on different videos, I'd say a lot, or not even videos, a lot of times it comes from the polls that we do on this channel. Brother Lucis always talks about men wanting peace. And this woman actually acknowledges that this gets talked about. Let me put this up. Let me put myself up on the screen real quick. This woman actually talks about and acknowledges that not just this channel, but other channels, social media, we as men collectively tell these women, aside from respect, that we want to just go home to peace. And if we decide to be with a woman, that is something that she needs to provide. But what you don't hear is you don't hear most women talk about this when they talk about what they bring to the table. You know why? Because most of them, they don't bring peace. They bring chaos. Let's get back to the video.
They say it every day. They want peace. They want to be left alone. They want peace. They want peace. They want peace. They want peace. And we blatantly ignore them and do the opposite.
Stop right there. I stopped it right there for a reason. I want to bring up a comment I just read. Brian says peace equal boredom, and boredom is justification for divorce in this system. I read that just now, and I was just like, Brian, you on point with that. She just said that they bring it up, and at this point, it's got to be on purpose. It's because modern women just don't give a damn. Their behaviors make it where they only care about themselves. And I've said that. If a woman don't care enough about her man willing to give his life and know that about him and don't respect that, do you think she's going to respect anything else? And a man that only brings peace to a woman who only knows chaos in her spirit and her soul is going to be just like what Brian talked about. That type of woman is going to get bored. And these women get bored too quick. When they get bored, they do things. They run off with other dudes. They got their side dudes. They don't want to holler at you. Women will not talk to you because they think being with you is going to be boring. They are so used to chaos, so used to some of these Pookies and Ray Rays going upside their head, that peace equals boredom. Thank you very much for that, Brian. That was the exact point I was trying to make on that one. Let me get back to this video.
And a man blocking somebody on social media, on the phone, that's him protecting his peace.
Hell yeah, it is.
So y'all saying, oh yeah, that's definitely sassy. That's giving weird vibes. That's giving feminine vibes. No, that's a man protecting his peace.
Listen, real quick, I'm going to bring this up. I told y'all, I think it was like 1 or 2 live streams ago where I talked about having to protect my peace. And I said one of the ways I did it, I'm a loyal friend, right? If I'm your friend and we have it, the only unfortunate part with me is it takes a little time, right? But the people that have stuck it out longest, I don't get rid of them totally if we've had that time together. But what I did have to do, and some of you guys might have to do with some of these ladies in your life, is you might have to back off a little bit. If you have female friends, or even if you have dude friends, you know, but if they're not reciprocating the energy that you're putting out, and I'm not saying don't be a friend. I'm just saying at some point, you might have to make the decision to back away from those people. And I had to do that for me because I was wondering, you know, you start to feel like something wrong with you. Like, why don't I ever hear from my so-called friends? Part of it is they got their own life, and I can understand that. But it's funny. For my real down people, I don't care how much time passes when we have our talks and we have our conversation, it's like we never left off. Or they will actually take the time to ask me how I'm doing. Just like I text and call them every now and again to see how they're doing, because I care. Why do I bring this up in the context of what this lady is talking about? Because sometimes as men, we need to back away and cut these ladies off. If a woman isn't going to reciprocate the energy that you're giving, or she is not reciprocating peace, or she decides that she would rather live in chaos than to give her time to you, cut it off. You ain't got time for it. And I would tell you, it was one of the best things I did that actually helped my mental health of recently, right? Since I've been back in the States. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I've been depressed up and down since moving back to the States. It is hard living in another country where things are so nice and so, I can't explain it, right? It's just such a peaceful lifestyle that cutting people off that didn't serve my mental health well is something that you might have to do. That goes for men and for women. Women, you might be cutting off your blessings with this particular dude hanging out with the toxic girl who says, girl, don't mess with him, he corny. You have certain women who jealous that you got something going on and will tell you some negative energy advice shit that's keeping you from your man, keeping you from your blessings. With this woman right here talking about peace, women should not be running from guys who want this. They should be celebrating these dudes. Unfortunately, in this society, it's not the way it goes. Back to the video.
That's a man not trying to go back and forth or have a whole argument and debate with somebody over the phone or over social media. Something that y'all like to do every day.
Yeah, we ain't about that drama. We ain't trying to have that drama, man. We don't give a damn about that. I know if our partner is causing us drama and we have peace within ourselves, we be like, yo, man, I'm gonna holler at you later. That's what we do. Right? We gonna get off on that. We're gonna get off the phone on that. We're gonna get off from texting on that. We're not trying to have that. Now, if it's our partner, we're gonna listen. We're gonna be there for them. See, women think that we don't support each other and that we don't look out for each other that way, but we do, especially if that's your partner.
And that ain't even sassy or masculine energy. That's childlike energy, basically. That's childlike energy.
You know, Sister Shahrazad Ali said that some of these women that we see today are operating emotionally on a 14-year-old girl level. And it makes sense when you start thinking about it. Now, before anybody comes at me about like, oh, that's jacked up. You know, she said that over 30 years ago. She said that over 30 years ago. And we're seeing the fruits of it today. It's funny when you look back at the past and you can see that the past was prologue to where we're at right now. She was on point 30 years ago talking about this exact stuff. And women tried to like slander her. Oh, you just hateful towards women and you against our movement and this, that, and the third. No, she saw exactly what it was going to do to women, particularly black women, and to those two communities of color. She knew it was going to happen. And she prophesied on that. I say prophesied on that 30 years ago. And now she's starting to get Instagram, TikTok famous for some of these quotes, for some of these women that says, wow, she's right. But women today still would call that woman a pick-me. Funny, man. Oh my God, I don't even get it. I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a second. We're gonna finish this video out right now.
At the end of the day, I hope that that tweet or whatever was a joke. But I mean, regardless if it was, you know, people gonna push a certain narrative.
Yep.
And it's just sad that we can't let men be men how they want to be men.
No, it ain't even just about how we want to be men. Let me put myself up on screen. It's not just about how we want to be men, baby girl. It's literally what we need. Okay? The way women today, especially these feminists with an F in front of it, the way these women, these girl power movement women, the things that they fight against and say against men is antithetical to being a man. You have women trying to tell men how to be men. Some of these women who operate in masculinity, yes, the energy, masculine energy is masculine energy, but there's levels to it. Some of these women are operating their masculine energy, but they don't know what it's like to be a man. They've experienced some of the things that men go through, but they don't know what it feels like to be a man. Just like I can't tell you what it feels like to be a woman. I know as a man that I have to rationalize through my masculinity, and that's called maturity, because things that I would have done 20, 25 years ago, ego, letting ego get in the way, I can't do that anymore. I know that letting ego and letting my loins dictate what I do isn't going to help me accomplish the things I do. So it is laughable that some of these women today are out here telling men how to be men. Not how we want to be men, how we need to be men. How women are against us men in our own way, getting back into that masculine frame that we need to be in. So when people say, well, why do you watch shows like this? And why do you go to there? And why do you, why y'all just bitter and this, that, and the third? I always say, don't be bitter, man. But we can learn from each other. We have those talks with each other so that we can get back into our masculine frame. And if that means that we have to walk that road alone, we as men know that sometimes you have to be the Ronin and walk that path by yourself. All right? I know I said I was going to let it finish out, but I had to stop it right there. Girl was on something.
Or us women are telling men how to be men.
See,
when we ain't never walked a day in the life of a man.
Called it.
It's just, the shit is starting to get to me. Like,
it's getting to me too.
Like, we're starting to be the problem.
Y'all,
yeah. I think we have the men beat, ladies. I think we're the problem.
I think we're starting to agree with you on that one.
We are.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Women got so much power and control. Women never thought about having power and control because they couldn't do certain things. They couldn't go out and have hot girl summer. They couldn't just go out and be wild. They couldn't let their freak flag fly, right? They couldn't just go out and do what the hell they wanted to do. And to some extent, I can understand not wanting to feel controlled by a man, whatever. But if you, a woman that is operating in her femininity with a good man who is operating in his masculinity, that is when a woman is going to feel her most powerful, especially if she knows that the value she is bringing to her man and her family is such that she is appreciated, she is loved, she is cared for, and she sees the fruits of her energy that she puts into that family and that man that causes that family to be successful. Women didn't realize how much power they actually had in the development of society. And now women have power now, right? And control of what are they doing. And what do we see? We see what's happening in society today. We see what happens when you have a lack of masculinity in society today. We are seeing the slow crumble of society. And I can imagine, I'm not going to talk about this. Wait, hold up. It was a video idea I had. More research that I need to do for a video idea based upon this idea that the lack of masculinity in society, the lack of men being men. I'm not talking about men being terrible men because we have enough of that. I'm talking about the lack of masculinity is destroying the modern fabrics of society, which shows me that what that woman said in that last video was absolutely correct, that women controlled more, had more power than they realized. Because now they're doing what they want to do. We can see society, it's something's off. And as long as we have these divisions between men and women, we're going to be more easily controlled by the powers that be. We think that this has to do with left, right, red, blue, male, female, masculine, feminine, alpha, beta. We think these things, right? We've narrowed it down, toxic masculinity and toxic femininity. We've made all these different terms and colloquialisms for all this stuff. But what we don't get is that it's the haves and the have-nots. And as long as we all fighting amongst each other, we're going to always be controlled. So we don't have freedom. We have free-dumb. Okay? Let's get back to these comments. Wow, you guys dropped a lot of comments here. Let's get up to where we at. Preston says you obviously become the company you keep. Yep, already read that. That was a great statement. Anon says I heard this Caucasian guy say he rather pays for relations than have a relationship with a woman. I've heard that many times too. We probably need to talk about that on a future episode. Still Saint says peace of her tail, peace and quiet after, then a piece of chicken or two, and then peace out. That's a good one. XL says addicted to dysfunction. I believe that's the truth as well, man. Pan Afro, hey, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being in here. They go willingly. Her body, her choice. Yeah. Leave her drama for her mama. Yep. Press says, or the key word is, I'm not happy. My life is crappy. Yeah, you hear that too. So you have all this so-called freedom of modern women, but a lot of them still are unhappy. Makes absolutely no sense. Women are the most medicated. The buying wine by the dozen, by the bottles, okay? You have women literally addicted to wine and painkillers, and prescription drugs and goddamn depression medication, addicted to it, higher than any other level in recorded history. Something is wrong with that. You got to see the correlation. It's because their actions are not keeping in line with what really makes them happy. I'm not saying that they don't enjoy doing the things they do. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying by the time you get to the point as a woman where you're willing to settle down with a man, where if a woman does decide to choose to be with a husband and have a family, you haven't been training for that type of race. It's like the tortoise and the hare, right? The tortoise was slow and steady. That's the way women used to be, understanding that the long term was the overall health of the family. These women are the hares nowadays, where they run their little race. They want to be all fast ass, as my great grandma used to say, oh, fast ass girls. I don't know if any of y'all grandmas said that either. These old fast ass girls out here, right? They want to do all that stuff. They do everything but run the race. And in the end, what happened in the tortoise and the hare? The hare eventually lost the race because in its head, it thought it had all the time in the world. Modern women think they have all the time in the world until they don't. And then they're scrambling to find that family or some sucker to take on them. I've been that sucker. Never again. And a lot of guys hear stories like mine, and they don't want to go through that crap either. They're just like, no, I'm not going to put myself in that situation. And smart on you guys. That's the reason why we have channels just like this. All right, where we at? XL says, my circle, micro, small, in my 40s. Less headache. I agree with that, brother. Modern drama queen will get black men offed or in prison. Yeah. If your woman, right, you see all those videos all the time, Pan Afro, where a man will, a woman will have that football player that went to trial, okay? That woman lied on that dude, were telling her brothers and the brothers' friends, hey, go shoot some stuff up. And they go to his house, and he wound up pulling that strap out, and he took out one or two of them. All right? All over that woman causing drama. And she was married or something like that, which is even crazier to me. If your woman causing him sisterhood, girlfriends drama, she for the streets. Facts. KB17, thank you for coming through. They don't want peace. They want problems always. Facts, man. Thank you so much for being here, KB17. I appreciate that. Brian says, sisterhood is the cause of many failed relationships. Yes, because misery loves company. And a lot of these women see their friends in relationships and then them themselves can't get it. And what they'll do, they'll slowly destroy a person's relationship if they allow it to happen. Still Saying says, ever heard of Arrested Development? Yes, I've heard of that story. That 14-year-old mentality is frozen because that is the age that they were traumatized. Ooh, good point. The sisterhood killed women with their bad advice and pathetic decisions. These people killed relationships with their ridiculous standards and their unrealistic expectations. Absolutely, Preston. Absolutely, brother. Anand says, again, in the 80s, we never had no social media smartphones. Now that we have that, they've come out of the woodwork. Yeah, we get to see everything going on right now. Real quick, I just want to see where we're at. Hold on, just want to see where we're at when it comes to, okay, comments of the day is next. I'm going to get to your comments again. Let me set up the comments. I only have a couple. Okay. Where are we at? Pan Afro says women should focus on how he makes her feel being a woman. Gender roles grow ego. Right? Exactly, man. Yeah, I think social media to women is as bad as corn is supposed to be for men. You know what? That's a good analogy. It's a good analogy. They're changing their tune because the beta orbiters are drying up. Yeah. The more you get, that video I put out, this is what happens when men stop simping, has over 300,000 views. 300,000 views. It's not the most views on my channel, but it is the second most viewed video on my channel. Why did so many men gravitate toward that? Because they want to know, well, what is it like? Some men just want it, just there for the drama with their popcorn, just chilling. I want to see what happened on these videos. Some of these men were actually searching for this on the internet, looking. They don't want to simp, but they also want to be able to love their women. Men do want to be able to love a woman. As much as dudes like, oh, I want to be myself. If a dude can find the right woman in the right circumstances, he going to be like, yo, I'm going to lock that up. The problem is men want that. They can't find that. They can't find that. Power over relations, powerless over self-esteem. Man, y'all dropping some knowledge in there. These people don't know maturity. They only know irresponsibility. That's right, Preston. The woman in the orange sweater has understated it. They started being a problem when they said they could raise a family without a man. Now they have to live with and live as their results. That's right. You know, actions have consequences. And listen, again, I've talked to women in the comments before, and this is not for women to be like, I told a woman in the comments today when I started answering comments earlier today, and I told her, I said, look, you have the exact right. Oh, listen, I'm going to wait till we get to the comments of the day. Hold that thought. Relations is a superpower for the modern woman unless he have kryptonite passport. That's facts. These people are just now realizing that they're the problem in society and they're the reason they can't get a man. Definitely shows that they are the problem. Right. Black Pillow Juka. Black pill is greater than red pill. I don't subscribe to any of these pills, whatever. I know it's the talk, whatever, but I don't want to put any labels on whatever I do. This is the way we didn't call this red pill back in the day. We didn't call it black pill. We didn't call it none of that stuff. Right? We didn't even say alpha beta back in the day. You know what we used to say? Yo, I'm dropping game on you, son. I'm dropping game. And that's all we used to say. Yo, sit down. And back in the day, you would sit your ass down and you listen. You listen when the older folk drop game on you. That's what we have. That's what we have here. We having church. Okay? Church. We dropping game here. Okay? But I get what you're saying. I say, as men, we have to stand on our own 2 feet. And there's times that you're going to be black pill about certain things. There's going to be times you're going to be red pill. There's times you're going to even slip back into blue pillism. Point is, realize it when it's happening and control the outcome. You all right? Be the change that you want to see. Still Saint says, and I remember Helena Troy started a war with her lady parts. That's right. She did. We have to heed. We have to head to the woods soon as it gets too populated. Find a new community in the woods. Like some of these dudes doing already, man. Had their little plethora of people following them in the woods. Ain't no simps on this channel. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, let's get to the section today. This is part 4 where we talk about comments of the day. And this is where I get a few comments from the week and I just bring them up here in discussion. We're doing good on time so far, so we're going to run through this. Okay? All right, this first comment was about that woman that we talked about earlier, about the one that stole money from her husband. Okay? This person reads, oh man, I left my glasses. All right. This person reads, is it just me or is she not totally in the right here? Work inside the home is work. I'm assuming this person say, is it just me or she's not totally wrong here? because then they go on to say work inside the home is work, the most important work, arguably, and no one questions why it remains largely unpaid. Well, we talk about work in the home being paid, right? And it's not, it's because a lot of times that women that take care of the household and are responsible, they may not get paid, but a lot of the times think about back in the 50s, men used to go out and work, and what happened? Women would be in charge of the paycheck. Let me put myself on the screen. Dudes back in the day would work, and yes, the work in the home was quote unquote unpaid labor, but that dude used to bring his paycheck home, and the woman controlled the finances. The women would go and buy the groceries and pay bills. The dude was at work, working, long hours. So we talk about unpaid labor. What do you expect? What is he supposed to do? This is what you get for doing this? We never talk about unpaid labor. What about when the man comes home and he does the maintenance on the cars? He fixes stuff around the house. He mows the lawn, right? When you have a responsible man and taking care of that stuff that a lot of women don't want to take care of, what about his unpaid labor? Does he deserve to get paid for that? No. It's a part of the home. It's a part of what's expected in the social contract of the relationship. Oh, what are you trying to say? That a woman's supposed to cook, clean, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. I understand that we're in a different time and age where men need to be able to cook too. Men need to be able to take care of themselves too, especially in this type of society today. I believe all adults should know how to cook. I think that's part of being an adult. But it's funny how many women are microwaving meals nowadays and think that's cooking. Anyway, let's get back to this comment. So the comment also says, if men were saddled with reproductive labor and child rearing, you best believe they'd figure out a way to profit financially. Well, look, if you have a woman who's sitting at home who is taking care of the unpaid labor, the children and stuff like that, with social media and stuff today, right? Let's say your children are school age. The hardest part of any relationship is before the kids are school age. So once those kids are in school and that woman starts having time, if she's not outside working outside of the house, she has time to, while the kids are in school, to go to school. Or she has time while the kids are in school to study a new skill or start her business. So I don't understand what this comment was about. She's this man's wife, mother of his children, primary nurturer of his legacy, not a slave. That's not the point. And this is what I wrote. I'm going to get to the point here. She absolutely deserves her own money from his salary. Okay. All right. This is where I disagree. This is where I disagree with this comment that was made by Eva Apple. Okay. And I wrote this down in the comments. You can go read it for yourself under this video. Her idea is that this unpaid labor, she should be able to take money from that and pay herself. That wasn't the issue. She acknowledged in there that some of the money that he gave her, just normally give her, she was putting in her account. I don't think he had a problem with that in this video. I think that the problem that this man had in the video was the fact that she was taking way more than she was supposed to. She started a secret account and she was siphoning money from his account and putting it in hers. If she wanted to be paid for unpaid labor during her marriage, then why aren't more women willing to get a prenup and put this in the marriage contract? See, women think prenup is a bad thing, but they won't use it to their advantage in the beginning of the marriage. If you don't agree, then don't get married. But most women are like, I don't want no prenup because I want everything. They're not satisfied with they're not satisfied unless they're getting 50-50. And in some cases, some women don't deserve 50-50. He wasn't talking about her having money. He was talking to her about stealing money and then being secretive about it. If any man did this, had a secret account that he was funding his mistress or his other family or his getaway fund, you best believe women would be online and they would have an issue with this. Best believe they would. All right. Let me bring this back up. Let me get the next one going. This woman writes, luckily, I'm a woman who doesn't want to get married. My generation has no idea how to be married or what it is. My parents are married, but I don't look at them and say that's what I want. I look and say the opposite. It isn't worth it. People get married because their friends are married and they are just following them, not knowing what they had to do to get to where they are in a marriage. I don't know. That's just me, though. All right? Now, listen. I know it'd be easy to hear this and to bash this woman for the way she feels, okay? When I answered this comment, I didn't come at it from that point because I want women to be able to have these discussions and for us not to be like, right? I want us to use our thinking caps. So what I told her in the comments, if I remember correctly, or at least I'm going to speak from the heart because this is the way I feel about it, I believe that she has the right to feel like she doesn't want to get married. Absolutely. What are you going to say? She is an autonomous being. She can have that thought. The problem that we have as men with this type of mentality isn't women that's like, I'm going to choose not to do that. Okay? I don't have a problem with that. If anything, I prefer to date those type of women, because I'm not going to get married. But I told you, and I tell you guys all the time, that I am an advocate of marriage and long-term relationships. So I don't mind being in a long-term relationship with a woman who doesn't mind getting married. So I don't have a problem with what she said on the surface. It is sad to me that this woman who grew up with parents who are married, having both parents, and still don't see marriage as a viable option for herself. That's kind of sad. That's where we've gotten to, that women have two parents. And just like the first woman said in the first video that we did, where them women will have two parents in the household and they want to run the street and be ratchet. That's sad. It's sad to me that this woman don't see her parents and see a life that she wants to live. Now, I'm not necessarily pushing people toward marriage. So I didn't have a problem with this. The problem that I have is if later on in the future, she decides, I do want to settle down and I do want to get married. You wasted the most valuable time in your life, the most valuable years of your life, and now you decide you want to settle with somebody. It's not about just getting that piece of paper. We're talking about marriage as in the ability of human beings to have that social contract with each other to say, hey, I'm dedicated to you and you're dedicated to me. We're seeing that people can't do that anymore. And that's what's sad about this comment, But it is her life, okay? I'm going to see what you guys have to say about these first two comments. I'm sorry, I should have did that the first time after the first comment. Let's see what you guys got. Pan Apple says red pill, black pill, purple, or blue. It's all a drug addiction. So I don't like to claim none of that no more, man. No alphas, only sigmas. Yeah. I would say if I had to claim any of that, it'd be close to a sigma. I like to do things by my own fucking, follow my own music, beat my own drum. Carl, shout out to Carl being here. Don't marry her. You're entering into a contract where the other party is incentivized to break it. Absolutely. Preston, change starts with your mindset. Shift it, switch it. Yep. Wife stealing money from her family is passing through level up monkey vine. Yeah. 304 bag grab. Yeah. Only his turn. You're right, Pan Afro. That's exactly right. She was planning on leaving. She just didn't have enough money yet. You guys You guys made a lot of great comments on that video, just so you know. Brian says they're not in for it. They're not in it for the marriage. They're getting a lick. Boom. Brian brings up a great point as well. Pan Afro says, if I should agree with this, don't look down on me when I take my son Junior with me as I travel. Yeah. But they'll try to stop that, right? They don't want that. They want to use the son. They want to use your son Junior as a leverage. King always comments. If you guys look down in the comments, you'll always see King down there supporting the polls, supporting this, right? King says, if approached with this situation, talk about the woman that stole the money or stealing money from the husband's bank account, divorce will be filed immediately while the evidence is still fresh. Trying to work it out and smooth things over will only backfire on the man. The theft and evidence of it will likely be ignored in court a year or two later. A woman like that will not shed one tear for you. She won't shed it because in the video she said, I don't care. Anyway, a woman like that will not shed one tear for you. She'll be picking his bones for money the minute that his pulse stops beating. Facts. And I talked about that. I said, my comment to this, what King said was, I said that in a previous comment. If she would do this to him behind his back, she was already this type of woman when he met her. And then WD Hub says he needs to plan his exit immediately. What do you guys think about this one? What do you think about King's comment? Let me bring myself back up on screen. Brian says, yep, we're with that. Pan Apple says, yep. All right. Let me get to the last one. Oh, okay. That was the last of the comments of the day. Now we're going to get to, we're almost done, you guys. Hold up, just hanging there with me a little bit longer. We're going to get to the profiles of the day. This is where I find memes and different little profile things, and I present it to you, and we talk about it. All right. So the first one is going to be, check this out, you guys. So I'm going to read the actual comments first, and then I'll go up, right? You get a hi. And then, hope you had a good day. I'm excited tomorrow. I can pick you up. But if you're not comfortable with that, we can just meet there. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like some ice cream in this hot weather. So there's this dude talking about, hey, it's hot. I want to take you out for ice cream. This woman writes, sorry if this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that seems like the absolute bare minimum for me. Meeting up would be a waste of both of our times since we probably don't have the same vibe. Best wishes. Right? This is what young women are writing, that they're too good for an ice cream date. You're 26 years old. You don't even know what you're good for. As my great grandmother used to say, you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Okay? Now, the woman up at the top of this thing says, I'm twice this woman's age, but I think an ice cream date for an initial meeting is pretty cool. After 2 marriages and a number of dalliances, I offer this advice. The first meeting is a time to just see if there's a vibe. Why not enjoy a sweet treat while seeing what's good? This older woman is giving some sound advice to this young lady, but know that these women, these younger women, I feel sorry. If you're a young man, let me put myself up on screen. If you're a young man today and you got to deal with this right here, where you can't even go on a simple ice cream date with a woman just to get to know her. If y'all remember that video I did where the dude he had just met the chick in the mall about 30 minutes earlier, and he decided to go to Applebee's, and the chick was like, Applebee's? Do I look like an Applebee's chick? Yes, you do. You look exactly like an Applebee's chick. They're just gonna take you to a fancy restaurant when you got like a sporty dress on and tennis shoes with blonde color hair or a blonde lace wig, pullover or whatever the hell. Yes. But this is where we've gotten to. I told you early on in the beginning of this live stream that you have a lot of women that overvalue themselves. Let's get to the next one. This right here, opinion. America needs to catch up to those of us who are living single. Now, my buddy sent this to me, my big bro, one of my big bros, and I said, bro, that sounds like he sent me a clip of the article, and I was reading through some of it. I should have brought it up here, but I only did this. I said, bro, in my head, I was like, man, that sounds like a woman wrote that. Reading some of this stuff about being single. I said, oh, it's like no man wrote that. It's like a woman. So when I looked it up, I sent this back to my brother. I said, damn it, bro, I knew a woman wrote. I said to him when he sent me the little text, I said, it's like a woman wrote this. So then when I went to go look it up, I sent this back to him. I'm the one that put the LOL in the circle because I said, look I was right. It was a woman who wrote, America needs to catch up to those of us who are living single. Women are pushing this single agenda on women, and then these be the same women who are already married and have a family. Ain't that something? Women are keeping other women single. This woman says, let me put it up on the screen. This woman said, I was home naked and chilling, but my brother just called me to come fight his baby mom. Ain't this something? This is the kind of thing that we talked about in the first video clip where women will get themselves caught up in a situation. Women will get themselves caught up in a situation. You should have told your brother, hell no, I'm not about to fight her. Can I beat her up? Yes, but that's y'all drama. You are a grown-ass man. Why do you have me coming over to your house to fight your baby mama? I'll talk to her when we at the next cookout, or I'll talk to her tomorrow on the phone. But you're going to be at night, you're going to throw your stuff on so you go fight his baby mama? Like, do you understand how toxic? These behaviors of modern women are toxic. This is a toxic behavior. To go over, my brother said, I'm going to go fight his baby mama, I'm going to go do it. You a dumbass. See what you guys got to say. Sure, he should file for divorce, period. Talking about the last dude with the 22,000. Yep. King is right. Run as fast as the planet's gravity will allow. Right? Carl says, I don't do ice cream dates. Oh, single. Single. We should, instead of saying sprinkle, we should be like single. I wonder if somebody can make that one fly. Can she even buy her own ice cream? Who knows, man? Person said these people can't even buy their own hot dogs, let alone their own food. That's funny. All right, let's get to the next one. So down at the bottom, it says, y'all arguing. Let me put this up on the screen. I'm going to read the bottom first. Deaconess says, y'all arguing about ice cream versus dinner dates, and y'all really need to be taking people to these escape rooms to see if they stupid or not. Escape rooms are great for dates, because I need to know if you're going to call me a bitch under pressure. Oh, man. Some of these memes are funny as hell, man. This one. How do men grow up with single moms and don't have respect for women? That's easy. If you watch your mom not have respect for herself, then chances are you're going to later have to deal with the fact that you probably don't have no respect for women, right? Usually men who see their moms put themselves in compromising situations are usually the type of men that grow up and don't respect women. Just a fact. How could these young boys today who are growing up with all these single moms expect to have respect for their mom or women in general when all they see is their moms out there being 304s, out there thotting it up, out there doing hot girl summer, out there? Basically, you got these moms walking around with their booty cheeks exposed in front of their sons, watching their moms twerking. How are you supposed to respect women? And women be making these damn comments and they don't even understand how stupid their arguments sound. Let's see what you guys have to say. Press says, since these people are too good for Applebee's, let them pay for their own 5-star restaurant. Facts. Their mother is incapable of teaching them any form of respect, plain and simple. There you go. Still Saints dropped it too. Okay? That's where we at. How you going to respect somebody that don't have respect for themselves or have respect for men? How am I going to respect a woman? So you said, I have a single mom, so I'm supposed to respect her just because she's a single mom? How can me as a man respect any woman that don't have any respect for any men? Just saying. Women call, okay, this one is a good one. I'm going to put this up on the screen. I love this actor. He's an amazing actor, right? Breaking Bad, The Boys, couple other things. Women calling Lizzo beautiful and inspiring. That's how women be laughing when you call women beautiful and inspiring. And then the second one is women when you tell them they look like Lizzo. How much truth is in that one, huh? They quick to be come to the aid of women who need to take better self-care. But as soon as you tell them that they look like these women or that they remind you of these women, they take it as an insult. But we supposed to respect them. All right. Mama getting her cheeks clapped in front of her son. Yeah, how are you supposed to respect that as a young man? You're not. Okay. I think that's the last one. Yep, that was the last one on that one. Gents, we talked about a lot of stuff, but to now, question of the day. Can there be any change in relationships without behaviors changing? What I mean is, are we going to continue to see what we see unless the behaviors change? Does that have to be men or does it have to be women? Or does it have to be some combination of both? But before you answer, why do you feel that way? Give an explanation of why you feel one way or the other. Do you think that the toxic behavior of modern women today is contributing to the destruction of relationships as we know it today? I want to know from you. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll get there as soon as I can. Well, after this video, right? We'll get to the comments after this video, all right? And again, thank you for everyone who in the course of this month has supported this channel. All the donations and super chats and different things like that. Everything that you guys do goes back to the channel. I am currently still working on my first book. When that is closer to being ready, I will definitely let everyone know the announcement. And you guys will hear all about it when it gets closer. But I've let people, get a little sample of the book, and everybody is loving it, man. It's not just a fitness book. It's a fitness story. It's everything in one. It's discussing fitness. It's discussing my journey with being the skinny kid, growing up, and how I had to overcome some of that stuff, right? Steele says, having to be a prisoner of war and living under the roof of your mother, who you are supposed to protect, is a form of psychological child abuse. Yeah. We don't talk about that enough, do we? All right, gents. Thank you so much. We're at the 2-hour mark, whatever. I don't just keep going forever. I know you guys got better things to do. I got to get to the gym, get my workout on. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And just listen, just know that next week I will not have a live stream. I will have some videos out, and you might see clips of this, but please support those clips. I try to make the clips different than the live stream. I try to make them flow a little bit better. Sometimes I throw memes in them, stuff like that. But please support the videos. But next week, I'm going to have my friend in town, and I know I'm not going to have time to work on a lot of videos. So this weekend, I'm going to create a whole bunch of video clips so that all that stuff is ready next week. Okay? And either tomorrow or Friday, I got a video clip. It's probably going to be one of the longer videos, so please support that. Gents, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting this channel. Until next time, live your best life.